We're doing this in one take today. Welcome to Jin's Ultimate Tier List number one. So as you can see, we have our tiers right here, everything, and we got the Shadow Realm. Okay, we're starting off with this picture of Yuri from Girls Last Tour. We're gonna start off strong. We're gonna do S. Okay, this cat with her daughter. That's also an S right there. This picture of Majima, I can tell it's Majima because of the coat, right? But it doesn't show his face, so we're gonna have to put that in B. This picture of Hitori, uh, uh, this picture of Boker, we're gonna go S on that. Sugar coating it, definitely an A. I go A with that because yeah, because you can Tiger Drop, and Tiger Drop is a fun move, but eventually it gets stale in the end. But it does a lot of damage. Anyway, Diamond Minecart, we're gonna go with A. A. OK Computer is going in S. This guy's going in the Shadow Realm, and we're gonna do this dog right here. He's gonna be in S. Hellfire by Black Midi. Listen, this is actually a pretty good one. Is it S tier? No, but it's pretty great still. It's pretty great. Car seat headrest, Twin Fantasy, specifically the 2011 version of it. I think the 2011 version is great. 2018 version is also great. You can have two goats coexisting, so that's why we're gonna have mirror to mirror, face to face, Twin Fantasy. In we're gonna be talking about both versions here. The 2011 version was great. The 2018 re-release is great. Both versions of this album is great, so we'll go A. Bloodborne is definitely an S tier. I don't even have to say anything. It's up there. Skull Candy controllers. Listen, I had one of these Skull Candy controllers growing up playing Halo 3, and it was great for the time being. But eventually, this shit got like really, it stopped like working after a while. I think mine broke, and I also don't like the starting the select buttons on this one. And also, it was prone to a lot of stick drift. Specifically mine was prone to a lot of stick drift, and I didn't appreciate it. Ibuprofen. Ibuprofen's going in at like a B tier. It's fun to have. It's good to have for headaches and stuff. I was susceptible to a lot of headaches, especially back in like lockdown era, and migraines are not fun. But ibuprofen is fun, but it doesn't taste great. So we're gonna go B. Uh, King Cruel's Hey World EP, which was like a lo-fi kind of rock EP that he dropped for his it's just like a side EP thing. It was a great video. I think this is an A. It's definitely up there. This picture of this dog, uh, we'll go S on that thing. Actually, yeah, we'll go S. Weezer Blue, goes to S tier. Weezer Blue album, definitely my favorite. I actually have it on CD. It's my favorite Blue album, is what I mean. It's my favorite Blue. Like, yeah. Okay. These two, S tier. Don't even have to say anything. Arbiter, he's A tier. Arbiter's A tier. Halo 3 Arbiter specifically would be S tier, but as a whole, Arbiter would be A tier. Chloe Burbank wasn't finished. If it was finished, it would probably be higher. A B. This gift of Kiryu. I think this is Yakuza 2. Yeah, the Yakuza 2. When he's supposed to catch the octopus, but he doesn't catch the octopus. That's going in like a B tier because if he caught the octopus, it would be an A tier. Like I don't know why. I don't know why he would. Why would he miss that? Ibuprofen again. This version of ibuprofen would have to go in F tier. I don't like copycats, so it's understandable why it's there. Ryuji Goda as a villain. Ryuji is pretty awesome, but we're gonna have to put him in like. He's like he was for the Yakuza series. He was probably like one of the most like dangerous ones because he started war. Like Kiwami 2 having that whole war thing, with like Kamurocho and Shambles was kind of crazy. If you think about it, and he's definitely set the bar for like the dragon, like there can only be one dragon villains. Like Shibusawa was like wah 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 wah, blah 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 blah, but Ryuji was like he was awesome. I think he did the there can only be one dragon perfectly. Uh, Nujabes, the Lovesick Hexology with Shing. This thing is an S tier, honestly. Like Lovesick 1 to 3, or you know what, Lovesick 1 to part 1s to 4, those are perfect. 5 is like where it drags on a little, but still it's still perfect for me. I think 5 is like a slow like a slow perfect song. Some people hate on 5 and I understand why, because it's like the slowest out of like the rest of the hexology. And it, like especially if you're like big fans of part 1 to 3, or maybe parts 1 to 4, I can understand why you would hate that kind of like drop off, because it's like 1 to 4 is like, oh, it's hip hop, we sampling this shit. 5 is kind of like slower in comparison, and it's like more melancholic or whatever, or like yeah, but slower. But honestly, as a whole, this project is like a 5. It's a S. Okay, J Dilla Donuts, definitely an S. I don't even need to like explain myself why this would have to be up here, because yeah, J Dilla Donuts is an S here, and it's it makes sense. Okay, Dark Souls 2. Listen, Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 2 did a lot of cool things for the franchise. I'm not gonna lie, but let's start off with Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 set the bar pretty high. We're gonna go with like kind of a like a kind of like an A, cause like I think the story is immaculate. Like, I don't even have to explain why. That story is great. Great, like a fucking masterpiece. We're gonna go like either A or S, but like the movement itself, the combat, it's clunky as fuck, man. Like if you're doing like PvP, it's like a fucking backstab fest. It's like everyone gets fucking murdered in the ass with with like the weapons and stuff. Like the PvP is fun, but like I'm thinking as like a whole, I think in terms of PvP, I think Dark Souls 3 and Elden Ring did it cool. So we're gonna have to put this A. You know, I'll do A because especially Battle of Stoicism, that's just like a thing they slapped together. And 3 and especially Elden Ring, the Colosseum in those games were just better, honestly. So we're gonna put this here. Dark Souls 2 is also going in probably A. Dark Souls 2 doesn't get enough credit, honestly. Like, y'all hating on it too much. Whoever Dark Souls 2 haters are, y'all hating on it. Dark Souls 2 had the best New Game Plus system ever. Had the best New Game Plus system ever. It was the most, I think this was like the most experimental that, well, it's not Bloodborne, but it was definitely the most experimental in the Souls, like, trilogy. And I appreciate it a lot because of that. Dark Souls 2 was very fun. 3 is definitely A. Everything here is A, you know. I would put it like if I was like I started it out of order. So I think if I started it like in order, I'd probably have more appreciation for these, but like still I have a lot of appreciation for the trilogy. Third game, probably have the most hours on the third game. It's understandable. I know exactly where to go for the third game. I know the quest lines more so than the second and the first one. The second one I still have trouble with, and the first one I just went back to it recently, so I kind of know where everything is. But the third one is like it's been a while since I played it, but I still remember a lot of like quest lines and like weapons and stuff. Okay, Toro on his own, it's sad. It's not fun. It's not fun. We're gonna put Toro on his own at like or at the Toro on whatever their own. I don't remember gender. I'm sorry. Gonna go with C, Toro, because honestly, Toro and Kuro together is like S tier. Like honestly, like what do I have to say about that? S tier. Hatsune Miku S tier. Honestly, classic, bro. This is like an idol. This is like an icon in the industry. An icon in the industry, and that is exactly why we have to put Pacific Daydream at Shadow Realm. Put it in front of this guy. This guy is pretty devious, but like Pacific Daydream is like even worse. Okay, Pinkerton. Pinkerton we're gonna put right next to Blue. Pinkerton, definitely one of my favorite Weezer albums. And this isn't biased, by the way. I listened to Pinkerton. I listened to Weezer. I think I listened to Weezer before this one did. Okay, and let me say this, cause I had Weezer. I was bumping some Weezer songs, specifically out of Pinkerton. I was bumping them in middle school, and I gotta say, Pinkerton was definitely my favorite over Blue. And does that hold true today? That does hold true today. I'm still looking for a vinyl of this goddamn thing, cause it was pretty goddamn fire. Okay, Siegmeyer, D tier. Siegmeyer set the bar for the Katarina Knights, but like this dude was running into danger all the time just to prove himself that he was an explorer. Like his daughter was more of a badass than he was because she was what? She was all the way in the Duke archives, and then she made her way to like Ash Lake and stuff just to find this guy. And who was the victor of that fight between Sieglinde and Siegmeyer? That's why Sigmar's D. Because honestly, Sigurd is an A tier. Sigurd himself as a character is A tier. He's like miles above his his he's miles above his old, the people in the family tree. Like he's great. He's a great character. Great character. Sucks that he had to die though. Like why? Why'd they do that? Frank Woods is definitely an A. Or you know what? I give him B. B. Frank Woods. I think Cold War really dragged his character a little bit, like a little bit more. I feel like they shouldn't have allowed you to kill him at the end for one of the endings, but it was cool. That was like a nice little, cool little thing that you could do, but I personally did not. The Left 4 Dead 2 AK-47. This is honestly the best gun in that game. We're gonna go with like an A. Don't mind the howling if you hear that. There's an ambulance outside. My dogs are howling because of it. Michael Myers. Michael Myers is a B. Like the out of the original 6 movies, I think the latter half, so 4, 5, 6, kind of dragged him down a little bit, and especially some of them spin-offs too, like Resurrection, dripped him down. I think the new Halloween trilogy was okay. But he's still a B tier. He's still an icon in the industry. Number 2 pencils, these are classic. Honestly, put him in an A tier. Diet Coke goes at an S tier for me. This is my guilty pleasure drink because my family drank it and now I'm a victim of that generational thing passing down. It happens. It happens. SpongeBob. SpongeBob we'll go A because latter seasons are dragging him down a bit. But you know what? I don't have a problem with modern SpongeBob. Let them do their thing. If it's appealing to like the younger audience, because like I grew up with SpongeBob. I can be all like, you guys are dragging him down and stuff. But you know what? I'll let you got like them kids enjoy what they enjoy because it's fun. Castle Crashers Remastered, A tier. Honestly, on its own, Castle Crashers is not fun. This is a party game. As a whole, this is a party game. You gotta have friends with this to play this. Voodoo by D'Angelo. We're gonna put Voodoo at an A. I think this is a pretty good. This is D'Angelo's best album. This is D'Angelo's best album. D'Angelo's best album over his debut and over the last one. Voodoo was awesome. Listen to it. The PS Vita version of Minecraft, this is the B. Specifically this box. I think there's some katakana on this. There's like a Japanese version of the game. And honestly, the PS Vita version, I played it like 5 times on my sister's PS Vita, and it was pretty decent. But I'd never had anyone to like play it with, so I don't have any fond memories of it. Xbox 360 on top. Bedrock for me it should definitely be higher than that. But actually, you know what? If Bedrock was on this list, because Bedrock is not on this list, if Bedrock was here, I'd probably put Bedrock lower, because Bedrock has like its peaks. I think Bedrock is great. You know, multiplayer is easy when it comes to survival worlds. But the servers, the fact that you have to do like some like you can't you s- like on console especially, the fact that you have to do some like third party shit, some backward shit just to get some servers in is like you know, it's not cool. Like we should be able to join our own servers on Bedrock on console. You can't, that can't be locked to mobile and PC. Like do better. This picture of this dog, I like this. The winking dog, S tier. These guys from Balloons, you know, I got scared of these guys. I don't know how to professionally handle them, so I'm gonna go to C tier. Worlds by Porter Robinson is an A. That's definitely a great album. I think that's his best album. Over Nurture, over Smile, is Worlds. Solace by Earl Sweatshirt is definitely an S tier. I like that EP. I think that's his best. That's the best thing that he's dropped. Aside from some rap songs, but yeah. Not Nightcrawler. I'm sorry. Rodeo by Travis Scott is definitely his best project. When the night comes, oh, when the night comes. We got Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd, S tier. The Kylie Boomerang is definitely that's actually my son, so S tier. It's my son. Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Honestly, at this point, they're dragging this series too much. We're gonna put it at like a C, cause like it's like too much, man, too much, too much. You guys are doing too much. You know, let people enjoy it. I'm letting people enjoy it, but like you know, specifically with the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series, I think, especially early on, I think they were dragging it too much. I think it got boring after a while. And that's what I'm just saying. Like y'all got your nostalgia glasses on too tight. This was not as great as people think. 39 Clues was a little better than this. 39 Clues was a little better than this. And then, yeah, a little better. And then, honestly, the Harry Potter books, if you give them a read, you know, they're a little better. But J.K. Rowling's a little bit of a bitch, so, yeah. Dude, put this here, C tier. I'd rather watch the movies, honestly. The Camel Balloons, these motherfuckers, these are a stepping stone into teaching you that you need to be on your toes and that you need to manage your upgrades well. So B tier. Halo 3 S tier. Honestly, I can't even say nothing about this. Halo 3 is an S tier. Halo 3 is an S tier. Halo 3 is a fucking S tier, bro. It is an S tier all the way to the building, all the way to the max. S tier. Halo 3 is my first ever game, one of my first ever games that I ever played. I still have the original Platinum Hits. I still have the Platinum Hits disc in my room. It's on my shelf and it's perfect. It's perfect as is. The Burnt Ivory King boss fight is an A. I think this is like the best king fight in the Dark Souls 2 game. People love Fume Knight, and I love Fume Knight. Fume Knight was definitely awesome. Vendrick's fight was okay. But Burnt Ivory King's fight was sick as fuck, bro. That was sick as fuck, man. Even cooler than the Stir Alone fight. The fact that you had to summon the knights, like you had to free them from the towers and to like help you with this fight, and you had to fight the burnt Elaeum knights, like the frog knights, like that was cool. I think that was like a nice little appetizer for the main course. The main course with the burnt Ivory King fight itself, it's so cool. Like you're in this lava pit and you're fighting this like legendary guy who has this really big fucking greatsword and it's magic and it's shit and it's like it's awesome. Infinity Blade 1. Infinity Blade 1, bro. If this was on like console, I put it at A. And if this was still here today, because I think the app got, yeah, you can't play the app anymore. There's probably like a ROM out there, but Infinity Blade 1. Oh, but yeah, honestly, the weird thing about Infinity Blade 1 was that before I get into the game itself. There was also a Dave and Buster's version of it, which was kind of weird. Like it was on Dave and like a Dave and Buster's, bro. There was a Dave and Buster's like game for it. And I'm pretty sure there's a couple of other locations that have the Infinity Blade 1 as like a arcade game, but like still, it's kind of weird. Anyway, Infinity Blade 1 itself was pretty awesome. Pretty great game. And I love the game, bro. It's one of my favorite mobile games. It's probably like my favorite mobile game ever. Like the best mobile game in the world. It's probably the Infinity Blade trilogy, I'm not gonna lie. And they took a lot of inspiration from Dark Souls, but honestly, they did it pretty well. And honestly, if I will say so for myself, I think the Infinity Blade series has cooler armor sets than the Dark Souls series. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably a hot take. That's probably a hot take. Probably a hot take. But either way, the first game is B tier. Pet Simulator 99 sucks. I hate this. I hate this game. I hate this game with a passion, bro. But it's like for Roblox games, you know this is like the lowest of the low, but you can't stop getting back to it. It's like heroin. It's like drugs, man. F tier, bro. F tier. The only saving grace of that game is the moment, like the feeling that you get when you get a huge or a Titanic. That's it. That's it. Everything else, like I'm glad that the fan base, they get their daily update, like their weekly updates and stuff, and it's like it's great, but like still, god damn, bro. Why? Why, man? It's a paywall. There's paywall after paywall in this game. You do one paywall, you get behind another paywall because they're gonna keep doing the weekly updates and stuff. I'm not gonna be draining my fucking wallet into that. My bank account, you know, I'm keeping it strong. I'm keeping it up for games that I like. Speaking of things that are cool and that I like, here's Dreamcast Summer Songs. Dreamcast Summer Songs is a B tier. Honestly, it's a nice little instrumental project. I love Plunderphonics. I think there are some pretty good Plunderphonics projects out there. I'm getting hungry by the minute talking in this tier list. I feel like I'm gonna pass out, but you know what? We're gonna keep going with it because commitment. Okay. Infinity Blade 2. Listen, this one is probably one of my personal favorites from the franchise. Like, the third one we'll get to later, but the second one I think it might be my favorite out of the franchise, honestly. And if you haven't played it, you know, get a ROM, find a way to play this thing. Get like an older device or something. I don't know. Just play it, bro. The second one is great. This picture of this guy carrying this person in a fursuit is probably like a C tier. I think, I think it's cool poses. I think it's a cool pose, but the fact that it's in front of like a front door, I think there could be some better like backgrounds for this kind of picture. I think it would be more romantic that way. Okay, Jay-Z's The Blueprint. Jay-Z's The Blueprint is a B tier. It's a B tier, honestly. It's a great project, but like I think people are gassing this up too much, especially this and the Black Album. I think people are gassing up too much. Reasonable Doubt, by far, without a doubt. Oh, bars. All right. Reasonable Doubt, without a doubt, is the best Jay-Z project. The best Jay-Z LP. And I don't even need to explain myself. Also, yeah, I'm on Opera, by the way. Nas Illmatic. Nas Illmatic will go as let's go with it. I don't even need to say anything, honestly. Nas Illmatic is an S tier. Nas won that beef between Jay-Z and him. That dude, like, Ether was crazy. That was a crazy diss track. But we're not talking about Stillmatic. We're not talking about Ether. We're talking about Illmatic as a whole. I have Illmatic on vinyl. This is probably one of my favorite hip hop albums. This is probably, and for good reason. There's a good reason why a lot of people say this is like a masterpiece, because the album from start to finish is a fun experience. It's a fun hip hop experience. Like, no matter what like affiliation you have when it comes to like your biases in the hip hop community and rap, like Illmatic set the bar. Like, I don't care whether or not like this is like something that you should stay, like, I don't care if you should stay in your own lane when it comes to rap. I think the argument that if it's an album that you didn't grow up with you shouldn't enjoy it. I think that's like a pretty stupid argument. I disagree with Tyler the Creator in that regard. I think Illmatic, regardless of if you have like a personal attachment to it, it is still a perfect hip hop album. You have to have, I think, the appreciation, like the fact that this paved way for a lot of other albums down the line. I think based off influence alone, it'll be S tier. But personally, not my favorite hip hop album, but I can respect it for how much of a masterpiece it is. I went on a rant there. Nanba in Fortnite would go pretty hard. But Nanba is probably not like the best pick for that. So C tier, honestly. C tier. I'm gonna get Skyflakes while we do this. We do this review. I have Skyflakes here, so I'm gonna eat that while we talk. Okay, Ari Cole from Class of '09. Listen closely. This part of the game is probably my favorite part of the game, but because of like how dramatic it is, kinda. But these two should not be a couple. Like in the canon, Ari Cole, they should not be a couple, bro. Like I swear to God, if you pair any female with Nicole, some bad shit's about to go down. Like even Jekka, honestly, J. Cole, cute ship. Honestly, cute ship. But like in canon, Nicole is a fucking atom bomb. You can't put anyone. I don't think you should put anyone with her because that is just pain. That's just like it's hard to watch. And the Ari Cole segments, as cute as some of them was, it was kind of hard to watch. I'm not gonna lie. That shit was like pain, bro. Freddie Gibbs and Madlib with Pinata. Definitely Freddie Gibbs' best. Pinata was awesome. It's not a perfect album, but it's damn near perfect. For a gangster rap album, I think it was damn near perfect. I don't have like a vendetta against gangster rap albums, but I think that some of them are a little too much. And I think Pinata is just perfect, almost. Okay. What is this? Squire Stratocaster. This is my guitar. This is probably what your starter guitar will look like for like a electric guitar. And as a starter guitar, this is probably my favorite pick. I'm not like a professional when it comes to music, but I think in terms of guitar practice, I think this is a perfect electric guitar to start off with. Put it at A. Put it at A. Okay. Infinity Blade 3 belongs with the rest of them. It's not a perfect. It's not like. It's not like the craziest thing ever, but for a mobile game, I think it's pretty crazy. And I wish that that Epic Games would make, or like at least like Cherry come back, or someone make like a new version of this. You know, I'm not really up to date with Infinity Blade news. I don't know if there's like a fan game out or anything, but these games need to come back. That's what I'm saying. Okay, the Terra Spark boots. Okay, the way to build these in Terraria, the way that you have to craft these fucking things, you have to combine a lot of shit just to get these boots. And to be fair, when you put them on, you're putting them on. Like, you're putting them on. Like, that shit looks fly. Like, you go down the street with this on, like, it's awesome. People know that you have the Terra Spark boots and that you worked hard for it. But, honestly, I was convinced by her, yes, her, living Peak herself, I was convinced that the amphibian boots are better. And at this point, looking back at it, I kind of agree. I think it was amphibian boots. I don't remember. I'm not remembering things really well because my brain is lacking energy because I haven't eaten yet. But yeah, we have Opera GX. Go to hell. I'm using it right now. I'm using Opera GX because I'm way too used to the sidebar stuff. The fact that you can open Twitter on the sidebar. But like as a browser, no. It sucks. Okay. Firefox. Firefox. Normal Firefox. I'll go A tier. I like Firefox. I switched to it. It's definitely way better. Jason Voorhees. B. hmm The thing with these classic like horror killers is that the you like those earlier movies or like their peak movies are definitely the reasons why they're classics. But the fact that there's like sequels that drag it on a little bit too much, like drag on the name of these characters. In Michael's case, it was like the movies like Resurrection, and in Jason's case, it's probably um. I actually don't know. What am I saying? Jason probably has some dud movies, definitely. Some of them get basic and stale. But again, these two are classic killers, so we're gonna put them next to each other. I shipped these two, by the way. I think this is math homework. I don't know why I have a math worksheet on here, but I'll go D tier, honestly. These are the cheese wontons from a restaurant. I like cheese, so put it at A. The classic Lay's can go burn in hell, but not really, because you know they taste classic, so it's okay. It's pretty much okay. The baked Lay's, however, are definitely S tier. Definitely S tier. Brat is definitely go B tier. Honestly, Brat was a good album. I was a hip hop head. Definitely still a hip hop head. I love hip hop, but like pop, I love pop. Pop is pretty awesome, and I think that Brat getting the top, getting a lot of recognition and love this year is definitely deserved because the production on that goddamn thing is pretty great. Them songs are pretty catchy too. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them songs pretty catchy. Pretty catchy. Pretty great. This is a gif of Summers doing his homework. Honestly, put it at C. You know, it's cool that Summers is doing his homework, but if he's getting praise for doing his homework, why can't other people get praise for doing their homework? Exactly. Like when I'm doing like writing an essay on a piece of paper, why am I not praised for when I'm doing that? You know, why don't I get a gift of that? Okay, cut the rope. Cut the rope as a game is a beater. Beater. Honestly, this little guy is awesome. This guy is an icon in the mobile games industry. They need to make a new cut the rope game. That's what I'm saying. Title fight Shed. Okay, I've only listened to one title fight record so far, but Shed is actually pretty great. I love Shed. Shed is pretty awesome. It's definitely a great debut. It's pretty quick. It's very fun. It's just very fun. That's all I have to say. Scenery, Scenery by Real Fukui, or whatever his name is. Scenery is awesome. As a jazz record, I love Scenery. I just love putting that shit on, and it's great for like, it's great calm jazz, nice. Sounds awesome. Wisp, Wisp is definitely an S tier Warframe. And let me explain why. It's the seeds. It's the seeds. Like what else can you say? Wisp is a perfect support frame. Every party, it's absolutely integral that you have a Wisp in like. I mean, you don't need one, but having a Wisp just helps a lot, especially if you're like a casual player. Wisp is just like very easy to to learn, and any type of support, like how Wisp does it with the seeds and stuff and the sprouts, it's just goddamn good. it's pretty great. It's pretty great. And you know the other abilities are also cool, like her laser beam and her dash move, and the third one that I forgot the name of. It's pretty great. Huntress is definitely like an A starting character, while the gun guy is probably like a C. Okay, Huntress is definitely awesome. I love the lock on stuff. Not the best character. I think there's some better ones on Risk of Rain 2, but yeah, pretty great. This guy, I have a little bit of attachment to this guy. I probably played this guy the most because like it's a starter character, and I like shooting. It's fun. So be here for that guy. Okay, we got Kita. This picture of Kita. We're gonna put her right next to her. Oh, it's a little bugged. Oh, there we go. Yeah, put them next to each other. Depends. These two, way better than these two. Honestly. What can I say? I just know what I'm talking about. Mirage. Mirage is an A. Mirage is fun. I love the Hall of Mirrors thing that she has. It's a great ability, especially if you have weapons like the Stalta and the Fulmin, kind of, and the Opticore Prime. It's kind of fun to just like shoot multiple, or to shoot as like multiple people with the Hall of Mirrors ability. Mirage is pretty fun. Halo 2. Halo 2 is definitely an A. I think 3 is better than 2. But honestly, it's bias. It's more so bias on my end, but if I was um but if I grew up with 2, I still think 3 would be better because 3 had Forge and 3 had a better campaign in my opinion. 2 was a little rushed. If you knew the history about Halo 2, 2 was rushed, and some of it, some of the aspects fell because of that. But still, 2 is like, still 2 is great. This GIF of Uzi with the cake, little Uzi, it's awesome. Honestly, that's pretty. It's still pretty funny. The video of them just like carrying a cake up an elevator. It's slight fun. So put it a B. The Fulmin Prime is an A tier gun. Actually, no, I think it's an S tier gun. Pair it with Wisp. It's pretty great. Fulmin, I love the infinite ammo stuff. I think I got Fulmin for free when I played Warframe on console back then. I don't remember how, but I remember getting it for free, the normal one. But I recently went back to it like a year ago or so, and I got the Prime version, and the Prime version is awesome. I love that. This is Bort, and Bort laid his first egg, and I think that's beautiful that he did that. So we're gonna put that in S tier. I think Bort laying his first egg was pretty beautiful. The Ty Dolla Sign 2014 Extra Shell freestyle. Funny shit. Like I don't know how that happened. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. He did it. He did his freestyle, and it's crazy. Like Little Timeless. It's probably my, unironically, it's probably one of my favorite things that he's dropped. Like, and that still holds true. Like, don't ever come at me saying that Vultures is better than this, because I think this is better than Vultures. This dog. If you see a dog, like we're gonna put it at S tier. We're gonna put it at S tier. It's like it's inevitable at this point. Okay, Redeemer Prime is an A. Actually, I'll go with A because I haven't set up the build for it yet, so I haven't seen like how powerful it is, but I definitely know that it's really strong. And I love the gunblade thing. I love the gunblades. They're pretty cool. Redeemer gets an A tier. Okay, multi. This guy is kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie, he's kind of crazy. I haven't used him that much, but I'll go B. I think he's the fact that he's super slow. It's like a hero that is meant to be played in a party as like a, you gotta have like multiple people when you have one of these. Because playing solo with this guy was kind of frustrating. That's all I gotta say. Okay. So we got the Dart Monkey. Dart Monkey is not better than Kylie, but I'm gonna put him in A. So the Dart Monkey, when you buy it, it's like your standard monkey to get accustomed with the game, right? But that's not the point. That's not why he's A. Dart Monkey is A solely because of the upgrade where you have your free Dart Monkey every time you start up a match. That upgrade definitely makes Dart Monkey one of the GOATs. That isn't Kylie. So we're gonna put Dart Monkey at S actually. Because when you have that free Dart Monkey, he's got your back. Like that's all I'm saying. The free Dart Monkeys, they have your back. Like what is there to say? I just realized something. This was the math homework. This is actually MLA format. Okay, MLA format. MLA format is important. You need it for your essays. You need it to... honestly, it's not that hard to do MLA format. I think people who are complaining about it should just learn how to write better. But yeah. And then this is what's supposed to be here. Math homework. Makes sense. Ellis from Left 4 Dead 2 is an A guy. He's an A. He's an A. He's a pretty good A. As a guy, A. He's like a very memorable guy. But out of the survivors, I'd put Bill at S. Speaking of Bill, here's Bill. Put him at S. Bill is at S. He's funny. And he did the sacrifice, the ultimate sacrifice, so yeah. The Rainbow Goblins by Masayoshi Takanaka. Put it at A. Definitely a great album. Some parts were weak, but still, I think it's almost perfect. There's a GIF of the skeleton. We're gonna put it at B because it's making my frames drop. You know, if it didn't make my frames drop, I'd put it at A, but because whenever I hold it, it makes my frames drop, I'm gonna put it here. The Brave Little Abacus album just got the Discomfort thingy, the whole title. This is probably one of my favorite Midwest emo albums, more so than like American Football and what else is there? Death Cab, I think. Death Cab. It's one of my favorites. Brave Little Abacus. Transatlanticism would probably be a little higher, like S. But this is definitely deserves to be high. Definitely a great album. AJR's The Click, more like the shit. AJR is a weird band. If you listen to them, you know. Okay. I'm not gonna hate on you for it, but I'm gonna hate on them. I'm gonna hate on AJR. I don't like them as musicians. I like them as people. I think they're nice. I think they're very nice to their fans. AJR, but I just don't like the music. That's it. These two, do I even need to explain why they're up here? I don't even need it. I'm just not gonna explain. Cowboy Bebop. B. B. Great jazz album. Great soundtrack for a great show. But you know, it's just B. Collecting Rubik's Cubes. Honestly, I'll go with like... I'll go B. I think collecting Rubik's Cubes is fun. I have a small collection of my own. It's kind of scattered throughout my house, but you know, it's still fun to have these, even if you can't like solve them as fast as like professionals do. Sometimes I might be introvert. Simbi, this is her best. This is her best. The 2020s was eating good when this shit dropped, bro. This is probably the best UK rap album. The best UK rap album. If we're talking best UK album, OK Computer is right here. I don't even need to say nothing. The Bends should be up here too, but I don't have the Bends on this. Forever Story. Forever Story is Jid's best, bro. I don't even need to explain myself. That is the best one. Elden Ring. Okay, listen. Elden Ring. I'll go Elden Ring A at this point. Like A. Lego Star Wars 3. Probably B. Nostalgia. The Clash of Clans Barbarian is also a B. Die Lit is also a B. And the Wubble Bubble Ball from the commercials, we're gonna go with a C. I hate this thing. I just hate that thing. You know what? We're gonna put it at here, actually. So yeah, this is the tier list. One last look at it. Here's the tier list from top to bottom. Got everything here. And if you liked it, then share it on Facebook, please. And if you didn't like it, then share it on Twitter. That's all I gotta say. Now, thank you for being here. Thank you for being here with me today.